Hello and welcome once again to more great VFL action in pro football. It's round 10 and this week we're down at Kardinia Park, home of the Cats, as they play host to Richmond. Two sides, many people believe, could fight it out for that vital fifth position. But then again, a side like North Melbourne may have a say about that. For Geelong, it was imperative that they win. John Devine has seen the ups and downs of VFL football this season, and he certainly did not like the downs in the opening 5 rounds. But the Cats have certainly improved since then, and so too have the Tigers. The big question, as far as Geelong fans were concerned, would their star Gary Ablett line up after being injured last week? To answer that, yes he did, and now let's go to Kardinia Park. A pretty good crowd in attendance in overcast conditions, and with me for the opening bounce is triple Brownlow medalist Bobby Skilton. Seven's big league cameras at Kardinia Park as we turn the clock on to start the game between the home side Geelong and Richmond. It was the Tigers' Mark Lee playing his 150th who won the toss and kicked towards the city end. And Geelong, well, good news for Cat fans because Gary Ablett is definitely playing. On the interchange bench for the Tigers, Barry Rawlings and Brendan Bower, whilst for Geelong it's Steve Reynoldson and also Paul Couch. On the outer side of the ground, and already a little bit of drama.
Richmond must be crook on Daryl Cowie, isn't he? He's on Ablett.
Well, how's that for a first up? Yes, welcome to the club. You can stand the best player in the league as O'Keefe kicks in towards the centre, fisted down. Waiting there was Boss. His kick was smothered. Rioli tried to get the handball clear. Went wide towards Darcy. Darcy gets it across to Christensen, who goes to Bright. Bright steadies in towards the pocket. He was looking for Ablett, but hooked it in too far towards goal. And it's pushed over the line, but is it out of bounds on the full? No, it is not. Must have just got a touch. And a throw-in to take place. Well, here's the throw-in. Brownless doing the ruck work from behind and holding the ball is the call in front of the Geelong stand, and the first set shot at goal will come from Neville Bruns. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Such an important game for both sides today, particularly in light of what happened yesterday, and he's drifted that one across the face of goal. No score registered yet. Towards the boundary line, the Tigers should clear through Michael Roberts. They do so towards the half-back line, where it's fisted over the boundary line defensively for another throw-in. Quite a good crowd here at Kardinia Park in overcast, somewhat moist conditions, but at the moment, the rain's staying away.
It's the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full, and so we'll find the free kick to be taken wide out there by Andrew Buse. Buse called play on by the umpire. It's a nice kick from Buse in towards half forward, punched away by Cowie. A loose ball hand passed over the top. Sikorsky first on the scene. He's tackled, loses it, could have been penalised. It's tapped wide by Geelong. Picking it up as Michael Roberts, well smothered by Geelong. Roberts in there again. Sikorsky comes in and a pack forms, and so we'll find a bounce to take place about 35 metres out from the Geelong goal.
Robert, really no breeze here at Kardinia Park to speak of today.
None at all, Sandy. And I do notice I had Maurice Rioli down as number 17, but he's wearing 27,
27,
Sandy.
yeah. They've added 10 because he decided to pop away, but now he's back.
Is that to keep him under the salary cap or
20%. That's calling it.
Off the side, Jimmy Jess taps the ball wide. Richmond putting the ball forward. And that time it came from Walsh. But now we find Geelong going back. Hocking puts the ball forward, and it's easily taken by Bill Brownless.
Now, could he kick it from here, Bob?
He could. He's not going to, but he could. A good mark in front. That's an excellent mark taken by Graham Landy in front of the Geelong skipper, Michael Turner. Landy now, straight up the centre of the ground. Francis in the front. Couldn't take the mark. Buse grabs it on the second attempt. Plays on immediately. Down towards Ablett. No, Ablett can't take it. Cowie in the front position. And we might have found his position, Sandy.
So Daryl Cowie, he plays on straight away, gets it across to Anir, puts him under some pressure, but he's clear. Drifts the ball back into the centre, and playing game number 150. The General takes the mark. Mossop tries to smother, not successful. Roach out on the long lead, and he takes the mark. Well, he's got nothing up forward. If he kicked quickly and long, he could just about go over the top. But no, Pickering drifts back.
50 metres out those, Andy.
Yeah, this is a fair distance. The ground's in good nick here at Kardinia Park. Gets onto a torp, a little, perhaps a fraction too much height, as Mossop spoils, but straight to Rioli. Morris swings it round into the square. No one at home, and Terry Bright takes a safe mark. Plays on straight away to Boss. He can go further afield to O'Keefe. Elects to go over the top because he was covered, so had to go to the space. Francis now. Oh, puts Sikorsky under pressure. It was a poor handball. Can he swing round? He can't. Has to head towards the boundary line. Francis goes in to try and make amends. Keeps the ball in play. O'Keefe gets the handball away. Now Hocking across to Boss. Boss towards half forward. Runs from behind. Affects the spoil. Waiting down is Turner. Tries to run through Michael Roberts. Can't do so. Billy Brown is clear. Gets the handball away to Drum. Fires at goal and puts the first one through. Good teamwork by the Cats. And Damien Drum posts their first.
Excellent teamwork, Sandy. Brownless doing well. I thought that Brownless may have had the shot there. Very unselfish play by the youngster. Gave it across to Damien Drum. One of the real goers in the Geelong side, Damien Drum.
Back in the centre once again. With Geelong, one straight goal. 6 behinds. The Tigers yet to score. Almost. Perfect bounce. It's won by Mossop. Can't get it down to who he wants, however. No one able to take it out of the centre. Eventually Francis picks it up, but he kicked under pressure. A poorly directed kick, and the Cats should be able to get out of trouble. From the half-back line down to O'Keefe on the wing. Bright saying you can go short here if you want it, but he says no, I'll try and go straight down the middle to Brownless. Couldn't take the mark. It's going to be interesting with him and Jimmy Jess today. Landy's handball eventually finds its mark. Sikorsky's kick, Francis. Oh, did it beautifully as he got it on towards Anir, who does it nicely. Gets the handball across to his teammate in Manton. Manton up towards the half-forward line. Pickering plucks it in beautifully, but a great smother by Malaki. Still Rioli gets it across to Roach. Can't claim it. Now he's going to be put on a nasty angle. Can he find Morris? No, Roach. Twisting, dodging, weaving. Geelong fans saying holding the ball. Malaki tries to trap it in the pocket. He's under plenty of pressure. Drops it. Pickering picks it up. He's caught by Mossop. The umpire's allowing play to go on. Rioli comes out with it. Can go short to Roach, and he's got it.
It was great defensive work by Malaki, Sandy, to smother that hand pass. Maybe it wasn't a good hand pass from Pickering, but nonetheless, Malaki knew exactly what was going to happen and showed great anticipation to smother it. And although his opponent might still finish up, putting Richmond's first goal on the board because he's only 35 metres out and virtually of no angle. So it's Michael Roach. Roach well within kicking distance. Sandy said earlier, no win today. The drop punt from Roach. Through for full points. No, it's 1 point. Well, goal umpire usually touches the shoulder if it's a point.
Apparently had a very long night. But nevertheless, Malaki brings it back into play. It's a 5-point margin, and at the moment, it favours Geelong. In towards the middle. Brownless again. Well, he's a long way out. His handball goes astray. An opportunity for Jeff Hogg to half forward. Over the top it goes. Malaki will be first to this one and should get the Cats out of trouble. He does so straight towards the outer wing boundary line where it drifts over, so another throw-in to take place. Very important game for both of these sides, both aspiring to try and grasp 5th position on the ladder. Well, after Essendon's performance last night against North Melbourne, anything could happen. Tigers again, a chance to go into attack. And again, it is Thornton down towards Riol. Caught, loose, Christensen clear. Can steady. Just drift one into the centre. Bright is there, can run on. Does so now as he goes in towards the pocket. And the mark not taken by Turner, but he's usually quick to recover. Looks for the free kick, but has lost it. Just gone back to have a word with Mick. So the Tigers to relieve some of the pressure, and there's been plenty of it on in these opening minutes. We've played almost 10 minutes of this first term here at Kardinia Park, in towards the centre. Oh, Billy! Don't worry about grabbing him round the neck, Mr. Pickering. Get back for the 15, and you give him another 15, Billy will kick this. Where's he playing, Bob?
Centre half forward, Sandy.
He's a long way out, isn't he? Ablett pushes it down. Roberts is the only one waiting at home for the Tigers. Gets underneath the punt. Jimmy Jess comes in. 1, 2, 3 grabs, and it's the Ghosts.
Excellent mark by Jimmy Jess. We spoke about Billy Brownless being able to kick. Nothing wrong with that. Not quite a Jimmy Jess one, but still quite a distance as Mossop punches the ball away. First on the scene is Eustace of Richmond. Hooks it back. Roach. Pack of Geelong players here. Mossop gets it out to Hocking. Hocking now comes across the ground. A well-placed kick straight into the arms of O'Keefe. Nobody there for him to kick to, though. Not a lot of movement there for Geelong. Yates coming right across from, no, it's Boss and Thornton. Oh, beautiful mark by Thornton. Plays on immediately. Pickering takes the mark.
He's been in good form, Bob.
Yes, fairly well held last week, Sandy. But up in Sydney the week before, a magnificent game.
Sensational, wasn't it?
Couldn't understand Tommy Havey leaving the same play on him for 7/8 of the game.
Pickering. Torp, but not quite in line, and Roach can't take it. Drifts over for 1 behind. So another point on the board to the visitors. They continue to trail in this opening half of this first term at Kardinia Park. Bruns from the kick out. He's got absolutely nothing to kick to at the moment. And that's just about going to go out of bounds on the full. Either that or Francis will take it.
Roberts going on and off the ball with Bruns. Eustace on and off with Buse.
Short, Anea. They've gathered absolutely nothing there. Anea in towards the pocket. Roach is the target. 1, 2 grabs. And he did that, Robert, with relative ease.
It certainly looked easy, Sandy, but I think Malarkey has generally done fairly well against Roach. Uses his body well and plays him with strength. And if Roach continues to lead like he is at the moment, then there's every chance. There's Michael Roach. Richmond with 2 points on the board. Geelong 1 straight goal. It's a nice looking kick. It won't quite make the distance, and Mossop touches it onto the post, and so Michael Roach now with 2 behinds to his score. It's a goal.
Well, it obviously must have gone over, and he thumped it onto the post, Robert. It's the only conclusion I can come to, but he's given it to him. So cross out your behind and put down a 1 for the goal.
I'll have to, Sandy, and my apologies. Richmond now in front. 1 goal, 2, 8 points. Geelong 1 goal, 6 points.
It is deceiving, though, from our particular position here, but there it is. The Tigers score their first. Michael Roach, and it's Mossop who wins it out of the middle. Who's going to take it away? The handball comes the way of Jess. He's hurried down to his boot. 1 hand up, not good enough. Trying desperately there was Hocking, but he's going to lose out. Still chasing, Anea clear on the right half-forward flank. Oh, runs his full distance, goes in towards goal, but Darcy's there and he takes it on the basket. So Tim Darcy, if ever a player had a shocking run with injuries, it is this man. Missing almost 2 years. A poor kick to Andrew Hughes, who couldn't pick it up on the half volley, and it goes out of bounds in Richmond's left forward pocket, and they lead by 2 points.
So from the throw-in, Manton of Richmond, Mossop gets a tap, comes out to Francis, smothered there by Carey, kicked off the ground. Buse first on the scene, a nice piece of shepherding by Yates, but it was Eustace who picked it up. Yates then recovers, puts it back. Sakarski from behind. O'Keefe comes in, thrown over the back almost. Landy picks it up. The former Geelong player gives it out to Morris Rioli. Rioli puts the ball forward. It doesn't quite reach Roach, but he gathers it in well. Gets a hand pass out to Hogg. Hogg now pushed just as he was about to kick. Good play by Terry Bright. Pushed him in the side, so there was no chance of a free kick. And it put Hogg off balance to such an extent that the kick went over the boundary line on the full. So we find Geelong now to bring the ball back into play.
Yes, good pressure there.
Hocking to bring the ball back into play.
And here's the kick from Hocking. Mossop is the target, and he's down.
Looks okay with that knee, Sandy.
Yes.
Doesn't look to be favouring it at all.
I think this is what his 3rd or 4th game back, and it's great to see him back. Mick Turner, Graham Landy. Turner successful. And Mick's played some pretty inspired football in recent times. Turner's kick. Jess the flyer to affect the spoil. Lee waiting down, doesn't come to him, however. Yates under plenty of pressure, so too was Poole. Boss hurriedly onto the left foot, down towards the half-forward line. And once again, the opportunity for them to go forward. The Cats. Oh, Brownless receives from Bright. Billy's kick looks pretty good, and he's put it through.
Not a bad kick at all.
Second one on the board to Geelong, and as Bob Skildon said, not a bad kick at all. So the Cats, 2 straight 4-point leaders over the Tigers, who have won 2-8 on 7th big lead.
Excellent play by Damien Christensen there. And it's Christensen who got that hand pass out. Great effort. Billy Brownless, Jimmy Jess. Number 16. Former Jerilderie and Assumption College boy. Mossop up high, doing well in the ruck. Bruns coming through, the hand pass wide, but he caught one too high as it was going on, so Neville Bruns will take the free kick. And Bruns gives the hand pass across to Mossop. Mossop's kick smothered, comes back to Bruns, he kicks it off the ground. Turner, picked up there by Brownless, across to Turner. His kick's offline, and a 1-point kick by Michael Turner. There's Turner and Landy. Landy and Michael Turner, teammates for quite some years, so Graham Landy would know quite a bit about his opponent. Too high. And so we find Pickering way down from the forward line. In fact, there's not too many on the Richmond forward line at the moment. There's Morris Rioli and Marty Christensen and Michael Roach and Gary Malarkey, and that's the storybook. Sandy?
Yes, they're wandering everywhere at the moment. I'll tell you what, we've seen some enthusiastic supporters in our time, but there's probably none greater than a gentleman sitting in front of us today.
I'm sure our viewers can hear it.
Here's a goal! Thank you very much, says Craig Evans. He beats through his first and the Cats third. So a good start now by Geelong as they move to 3-1-19, leading Richmond 1-2-8 on 7's big lead.
It's an excellent start. Geelong playing quite well. They must have played very well down here last Sunday, Sandy, without really being able to put goals on the board early in the piece. Hawthorn running away in the finish. But Geelong's starting to put their game together, of course, with players like Mossop and Malarkey and co back in to the side. It must make a difference.
Here's the bounce once again. Lee right underneath him. He wins the flick. Trying to tap it on was Manton. No one able to take it away. It drifts back in towards the middle where the pack develops, and the umpire has absolutely no alternative. Umpire Castleton Saville in charge of today's proceedings here at Kardinia Park. Having played some 18 minutes of this third term. Mossop and Lee. Almost to Mossop. But again, no one able to take it away. And so another stalemate in the middle. 19 plays 8, 11-point margin favouring the Cats, but very early days yet. Michael Roberts under plenty of pressure and was going to come out of it with a free kick. Michael holding the head. Look at the improvement once he gets given the football. Plus 15 metres, so they all drift down towards the Richmond forward line. By gee, it's congested. Roach comes over the top. Can't complete the mark. Mossop tries to get it across to Bright. Can't do so. Manton was there. He can't do anything with it. Christensen goes in over the top, and the umpire eventually decides to come in and have another bounce. But Richmond have pushed it down towards their left forward pocket region.
I think both sides have got 8 rovers out there, Sandy.
I would say, Bob, a minimum of 8. Mossop. Tap wide. Hogg. Boss. A chance. Can he pick it up? Can he pick it up? No, he can't. Bruns. Rioli. And Morris Rioli marks forward of centre. Wearing now number 27. We know him, of course, extremely well, wearing the 17 Guernsey. Poor kick. Poor tackle. But a very, very poor tackle on that occasion by Steve Hocking. Gee. So So the Tigers now an opportunity of coming to within 7 points. The Cats, after they made such a good start.
A long way from out there, Sandy. The kick will travel at least 50 metres is to score. The lead there coming from Manton, ignored. Manton boys have got a free kick there. And the kick from Pickering is offline and 1 point the result. And Michael Pickering with 2 points on the board.
Actually, he was staggering up in Sydney, wasn't he, Bob? Because he got some ripper goals, but he missed some sitters.
Well, he was footsore that day, Sandy. He
got so many kicks.
Yeah. Yates, an excellent mark. Thought about the hand pass. Now elects to play on immediately. Comes wide. O'Keefe is the player he's looking for. Punched away by Francis. Francis taps the ball on, was held. And no free kick coming. So a boundary throw-in will take place. Right in front of the players' race. From the throwing. Mark Lee of Richmond. John Mossop, Geelong. No tap. No clear tap, that is. Boss was a player in there for Geelong, so too Thornton and Francis for Richmond, and the umpire decides it's time for a bounce. Big pack of players around the bounce. Lee gets the tap. Trying to tap it on was Chris Smith, and once again the umpire decides we'll have a bounce. A bounce on centre wing. Members' side of the ground. 19 points to 10. Mossop got the ball down to Buse. His short kick. Tapped on by Boss. Damien Christensen tried to get it. Chris Smith in there for Geelong. For Richmond, I should say. I'm sorry. And Smith couldn't get the ball clear. Craig Smith, not Chris Smith.
A memory going back to Fitzroy days.
You're right, Sammy. Mossop gets the ball down. Eustace takes it. O'Keefe got it out. It's tapped on by Lee. Marty Christensen tried to tap it on, gets a push in the back from Smith, and Marty Christensen, much to the disgust of my co-commentator, will come out with the free kick.
So Christensen from centre wing. One's only got to drop one's pen, and Robert gets startled nowadays. Christensen's kick in towards half forward. We still...
I did work with a few South Australians the other week.
Have not sighted Ablett. This is Yates. Playing game number 100. Ablett, will he wait and leave it for Bright?
I don't think he's fit, Sandy.
Well, why is he there? Look at that. He tries to throw it out the back and has lost it.
It's just his movements, Andy. You know,
he looks stiff.
There's the movements of a normal Gary Ablett, and there's the movement of the one that's out there today.
Ania's kick. O'Keefe a chance. Needs support. Or lack of talking there between he and Carey, but Carey butters up to do some good shepherding work. He had Buse short, but elected to go longer. Billy comes over the top, and he leaves Jimmy Jess at the back. And Jess doesn't mind that because he can clear for the Tigers towards Pickering, who's just forward of centre wing. Michael Pickering's kick towards Francis in the pocket, and he takes a solid one. Plenty of opposition from O'Keefe. Now, whether Francis could kick it from here, I question that. Oh, he's got 15. 15 metres. So an excellent opportunity now.
They give it for anything these days, Sandy.
Yep. They have a cold. Blow your nose and pop it. Here's the kick from Peter Francis. Beautifully directed.
Yeah, but 15 metres made all the difference.
Well, it gave him a goal. And it's now 2-3 to Geelong's 3-1 on Seven's big lead.
There must be... You just cannot allow players to run on. You must be allowed to run across and put your hands up, and your coach would pull you off the ground if you just let a player play on without any worries. And so if a player's going to handball or play on, they give 15 metres to the player on the mark.
It's a catch-22 because you'd think if they did that, they'd get reported for time wasting, which is another incredible story in itself.
I will not comment. From the bounce. Mossop again gets it. Our pointing mark out there at the moment. A hand pass came from Smith to O'Neill. Back to Jess. And Jess with a long kick. Pickering, I think, fell for the three-card trick.
Called out.
I think Gary Malarkey said leave it. He left it. Malarkey gave it across to Marty Christensen. Damien Christensen and Drum's out there. And Drum tried to tap it back. Couldn't do so, so we'll find a throw-in to take place.
I tell you what, Bobby, just having a look round there, a fair few big names that have hardly been cited in this game as yet.
Which one, Sandy?
Well, I was just watching Carey kick that ball, but I mean, has Trevor Poole had a touch? Has Gary Ablett had a touch apart from a throw?
No. Craig Evans
Thank you very much. He's already kicked one goal, Craig Evans. Down towards Ablett in that forward pocket.
Touched it.
Who did? That's it. There's no need to be flippant. I'm merely stating a fact, and you're carrying on like an uncooked pork chop.
Ablett not looking himself, Sandy. I do not think he's fit, and I think Geelong are taking a big gamble. Now we'll probably finish like kicking 7. It's Michael Turner's kick is offline.
It's usually the way, isn't it?
Through for 1 point.
Oh, dear. So another behind on the board to the Cats. They move to 3-2. Richmond at 2-3. Plenty of pushing and shoving going on there. The umpire elects it to go unnoticed. Jeffrey Hogg. No mark taken. Pull. Can't get it. Anir at the bottom of the pack. Smothered. Carey tries to burst his way clear. Can't do so. Hughes is down there, and eventually Mark Eustace picks it up. Goes on to the left foot and puts it straight down the throat of Marty Christensen.
Had a good year, Sandy.
Yes, he has. Christensen at centre wing. It's going to be one of those games, though, where everyone's down one end of the ground all day. It's going to make it difficult.
There's no wind, so it shouldn't be that way.
No, I know. I can't work it out. But nevertheless, Thornton has it. And his kick under pressure has gone out of bounds on the floor.
Haven't been able to understand Richmond's forward play at all, to be quite honest.
Here's an opportunity for Geelong through Damien Christensen down towards the half-forward line. Roberts, Rioli, wider to Walsh, who goes even wider to looking for Anir, but Carey's with him. Doesn't stop him getting the hand pass away. Back to Walsh, onto the left foot this time, and Trevor Poole, who we mentioned hasn't had a touch, as Bobby said, will now probably come out in 7. I mentioned Poole. Let's see what he can do. He's an exciting young player. It's a fair kick too into the square. John Mossop just gets his hand to it and drifts over for one behind. So, Tigers move to 2-4-16, trailing Geelong 3-2-20.
A very versatile player for Richmond, Trevor Poole. He's played just about everywhere on the ground, I think. Last year's best and fairest winner. And as we find Carey out wide, plays on immediately, puts it down. Marty Christensen gets a hip and shoulder that time. And we find Thornton giving a hand pass across, put his teammate under pressure. But now it's with Rioli. Rioli's hand pass out wide and near. Coming through was Roach. Didn't quite handle it cleanly. Damien Christensen gets it across to Marty Christensen. And now Malarkey with a long kick. Groundless, almost took the mark. Kicked off the ground by Jess. Landy coming through, taps it over the boundary line, and the throwing to take place midway between centre wing and half forward flank for the Geelong side, with Geelong 3-2-20, Richmond 2-4-16.
Well into time on, and there won't be a lot of time on in this game. Jess, well, the Ghost heads towards the boundary line. His immediate opposition in Billy Brownless was there. He applies the pressure, but the ball has already drifted over the line, so another throw will take place. 4 points the margin, favouring the home side Geelong. Here's the throw in. Lee with both hands up on that occasion to Michael Roberts, who's picking up plenty of kicks. It was number 5. Now Pickering. Oh, beautiful kick. And he finds John Manton at half forward. Manton was the exact opposite. A perfect shocker. Christensen picks it up, puts it out wide in front of O'Keefe. He's in front of Francis, but the siren's in front of them both. And so at a quarter time here at Kardinia Park, we see Geelong 3-2-20, leading Richmond 2-4-16. Into the second quarter here at Kardinia Park, and it's the home side, the Cats, leading by 4 points. Steve Reynoldsson has come onto the ground at centre half forward. Looks like Brownless down to full forward, and Ablett out onto the flank, where according to Bobby Skillen, that's where he belongs. Reynoldsson, freshman on the ground, gets his first touch as he finds Yates, and in turn Ablett. Bobby nudges me and said that's where he should be. Well, that's where he is. Now, he'll probably kick this from here. He's only 80 metres out. Oh, and it's a beautiful looking drop punt too, but he's well off target in 1.0. So the margin is now 5 points.
I also think that's where Brownless should be.
And is Reynolds the answer at half forward?
No.
On that position now. But no one there to help Bruns. Cowie came through and he's going to receive a free kick. Darryl Cowie started his football career with at senior level with Central Districts in South Australia.
Full senior level.
Then went to St Kilda and is now with Richmond. I don't think it bears any comment.
So from the throwing. Half forward flank for Geelong. No ruckman there. Eustace comes out with it. Is tackled, loses it. Ball play on by the umpire. I would have penalised him. Pickering takes the mark after Rioli puts the ball forward. Smith takes the hand pass. A nice looking pass, just doesn't quite reach Roach. Taps it out looking for Lee. A favourable bounce, and Mark Lee puts it out wide to find Ania. Ania puts it out long and wide, but Geelong good in defence as Marty Christensen takes it. Puts it long and wide towards the wing. Sikorsky, after Evans had fallen, got the favourable bounce, hooks it back towards half forward. Francis in the front. O'Keefe punches it away. Hughes picks the ball up, shows a good turn of speed. Thought about the hand pass, ran a good 10 or 15 metres. Gets a floating kick forward. Ablett couldn't take it. Turner comes out with it, loses it completely. Roberts takes it and gives it across now with a hand pass to Rioli. Straight down towards half forward. Pickering in the front, and he is held according to the umpire. And I thought that Pickering was laying back. It might have been his fault just as much as it was Hocking's. But nonetheless, the umpire finds a free kick to Pickering. Goes short with a lead from Roach. And Hughes was put over behind play. Nothing nasty or anything, just tripped over.
But he does ask the question.
And he does come back at Eustace. And Michael Roach. 1 goal on the board personally, 1 out of Richmond's 2. The other goal kicker was Peter Francis, but Roach only 30 metres out, directly in front, should have no trouble. So Michael Roach. The leading goal kickers in VFL football. Kick from Roach. Goal umpire comes across, but not enough to say it's a point. It's right through, and it's 2 goals to Michael Roach. So Roach with 2 goals on the board. Richmond go to 3 goals for 22. A 1-point lead over Geelong. 3-3-21.
Yes, 2 goals, 1 to Michael Roach for the day so far, out of that 3-4. And as Bobby said, a 1-point margin favouring the visitors. He gave us that stunning win up in Sydney, but then the next week fell a little flat. Can they get back into business today? Lee, Hughes, tackled quickly, too quickly. In fact, he lost it. Rioli, caught by Drum. Yates, under pressure, also loses it. Ania clear. Oh, he runs past 2. Goes wide with the hand pass to Thornton. In towards full forward, and the bouncing ball drifts over for 1 behind. So Ron Thornton scores his first, and it's 3-5, playing 3-3. Approaching the 5-minute mark of the second term here at Kardinia Park as Malaki goes to the outer side. Mossop did a little bit of pushing and shoving, but was allowed to get away with it. Boss under plenty of pressure. Rioli applying that pressure, and the umpire says, no, gentlemen, a line ball will have a bounce. Still in Richmond's forward line. And a big pack of players on this ball. Lee wins it, taps it, flicks it over the back. Paul tries to do likewise, going down towards that left pocket region, but Steve Hocking is there, applying plenty. So too is Christensen, but his kick goes out of bounds on the full. So once again, Richmond will bring the ball back into attack and head down towards Michael Roach, who's patiently waiting at full forward. Francis, not sure what to do. He's going to go short. Now is eventually called to play on because he was wasting enough time. Lee, but Mossop comes over the back. Here's a chance. The handball is wide. Walsh takes it. Former boy from Hamilton just drifts it in short, back towards Anir at centre half forward. John Anir is right on the 50-metre line and is giving himself a chance here. Gets behind a drop punt, good-looking kick deep into the square, and a good mark taken for the Tigers by John Manton. So Manton right in the square.
Making a comparison, the way he came across from the side was reminiscent of one Royce Hart. You knew what I was going to say then, sir.
Well, we did actually get him on television in South Australia, Bob. They have TV there. Here's the kick from Manton. And he's put it straight through the middle. So the Tigers score their fourth. 4-5, plays 3-3 on Seven's big lead.
That's a nice goal by John Manton. A greatly improved player, actually. The day that Richmond beat the Swans up in Sydney, Manton's first quarter was absolutely excellent.
So back in the middle once again, and the Tigers open up an 8-point advantage. There's no breeze, conditions are overcast, but we might escape without any rain. Lee goes for a mighty thump, but it's partly nullified. Drum to the half-forward line. Turner been pretty quiet. Nick, he's got a chance now. They need a goal badly. He'll be on the left foot. He goes with a low trajectory punt. He's put it through. Great goal by Mick Turner, a captain's goal for the Cats, and that's exactly what they wanted for the quick reply. The margin is now 2 points on Seven's big lead.
It was a great goal, Sandy. Michael Turner, very deliberate in the way he approached that shot, and actually was almost a short pass that Turner did. He made no attempt to put the ball high in the air, and it was almost as though he was passing it towards the goal umpire. An excellent goal, and as Sandy called it, a great captain's goal. From the bounce, Mossop against Lee. Richmond's Lee gets the big punch, taken by Manton. A wide hand pass towards Smith. Gets the bounce. Dummies beautifully, straightens up and goes goal when it's a nice looking kick. Roach touched on the line. Snap. Good defensive work by Hocking. Roach should have shepherded the ball through. It would have gone through for a goal. And now we find Geelong repulsing the attack.
Good play by Craig Smith, wasn't it?
Excellent play. Darcy's kick dropping short. Manton comes through again. His kick going short. Rioli diving in, gets a push in the back as he did it. And so we'll take the free kick. He's within kicking distance. Quite an acute angle, but he's only 30 metres out from goal. For Morris Rioli. By saying go back around a little bit. Morris tried to sneak a little bit, and why not? And the former Melville Islander will go goalward across the face of goal and through for 1 point. One-point kick by Morris Rioli takes Richmond to 4-6 with Geelong on 4-3. So a 3-point margin in favour of Richmond as Terry Bright puts the ball back. Too high for both ruckmen. At the back it's Manton. A hand pass finds Anir. Anir swinging the ball back, but an excellent mark taken there by Malarkey, who plays on immediately. Puts it right out of the danger zone with a long kick. Jess was up high. Sakarski tried to lend support. The ball tapped forward where Damien Drum picks it up. Has plenty of time to steady. Go forward looking for Brownless. Punched away by Cowie. Down to Turner. The hand pass across to Hughes. Runs into the open goal and puts it out of the ground.
Good play by Brownless. He couldn't mark off, but he tapped it cleverly forward. And Andrew Hughes almost taunting the opposition, doing a Carl Lewis and saying, catch me if you can. Well, they couldn't, and it was a goal.
Yes, taking a bit of a gamble, but I don't think he's appreciated the close attention he's had so far from Mark Eustace.
So 3 points the margin, 5-3 Geelong. Richmond are 4-6. 10 effective scoring shots, plays 8.
Geelong runner having a word to Andrew Hughes.
John Devine might
He's the slowest runner in the league, that little fella, Mickey.
Yeah, little Mickey.
Hey?
He loves it though, doesn't he?
He's the slowest in the league.
You're having a stir. Mind you, you've been doing that for years. as we go back for the centre bounce.
John Mossop.
Do you think Mark Lee's perhaps clawed his way back into the game in this term, Bob?
A couple of good knocks from the centre. But the first term was all Mossop's.
Certainly was. Let's see what happens this time. Mossop has the run-up. Roberts has pulled off the football before he can get an effective kick away. And Messrs Mossop and Lee will be asked to do the same ruck work once again. Let's see if there's a definite result this time. 3-point margin. Some 12 minutes played almost in this second term. Philip Walsh at the bottom of the pack. So too Mick Roberts. And yet another bounce. They come from everywhere. Mick Roberts, of course, from St Kilda. Philip Walsh from the Western District League.
Via Collingwood.
Via Collingwood, yes. Mossop winning that one. But it's Thornton's kick to the half-forward line. And the free kick is going to go the way of Geelong's Marty Christensen. Or is he going to pay the mark? It was a very good attempt. Darcy's alone. Just got to get over the general. Mark Lee playing game number 150 to Mark Boss. Now here's a chance. Brownless has the ball well fisted away. I don't know where Gary Ablett is. I can't see him. Drums under pressure, under real pressure. So too is Boss on all fours. And Anir will get the Tigers. Or will he? To Rioli out of trouble. Poor hand pass. Rioli will have to do the work to get out of this. O'Keefe drags him to the ground, but the umpire's taking it back because he's saying that Drum infringed upon Ron Thornton. Oh, no, he'll give it to Rioli. I thought he was going to take it back to Thornton, but he didn't. And he's gone down to that half-forward line, and it's Hogg. A long kick down towards full forward. The back was Roach. Needs support and has it now. Pickering, a short little pass. Is it effective? No. Mossop caught. Not before he gets rid of the football. Christensen brings it back towards centre wing. Hughes is there, spoiled by Eustace, paying close attention. Back towards Eustace again from Walsh. He finds Roberts, and the Tigers go into attack with a long kick. Roach the flyer, and he's got it.
We had literally no opposition there because Gary Malarkey fell over. And not that Malarkey, I think, had much chance there at all, because with Roach's extra height coming from behind him in that circumstance, he would have come straight over the top, in my opinion. But nonetheless, Malarkey did fall over anyway, as Michael Roach with 2 goals so far to his credit. Now it is 3, and the Tigers go to 5 goals, 6, 36, with Geelong 5-3, 33.
Yes, the Tigers just able to steady, regain the lead, but it's a real seesaw battle here at Kardinia Park. Both sides believing that they can make the 5. And the way the season's going, well, just about anything could happen. This is what they're concerned about, the 4 premiership points today. What happens from the middle on this occasion? It's Lee who goes with that, what's now becoming a typical backhand swipe. Uses kick to half forward. Now here's Ablett. Oh, and he does it beautifully to Couch, and he'll goal. Beautiful play by Gary Ablett. He might be able to lift his arms, but Robert, he still looks reasonably good when he's doing that sort of play.
Yes, I agree, but luck's a fortune's end, because Ablett made no attempt to go for the ball in the first place, and Poole attacked the ball. Unfortunately for he missed it. It came out to Ablett, and so in some respects you could say that Gary Ablett didn't deserve to get it, but really did, and then once he did, he finished it off.
Centre bounce once again. 39 plays 36. The Cats are back in the lead. It's a perfect bounce in the middle. It's won by Mossop. Reynoldsson, a chance to run at the football. It's pushed wide. Slight hesitation, so it's Hughes who goes in, gets it across the turn, and the Cats are alight. Mickey says, I won't have a bounce, I'll have a shot. It's swinging back, and he's done another one. Oh, come in, captain. But Mick Turner now sets Geelong 9 points clear. 45 plays 36 on 7's big lead.
It's a loose play by Richmond. Michael Turner could easily have hand passed to either Evans or Couch. They were all there, and I think they were all saying you've got all the time in the world. So disgraceful defence by the Tigers.
Centre bounce. 15.5 minutes played, second term. Still no one able to break away, but a 9-point lead now to the Cats. The next one's going to be critical. from the centre bounce. Couch ridden into the ground. A hurried kick gathers little distance. Darcy is told no, it's not far enough. So his teammate Mark Yates picks it up, goes to the half-forward line, and you see Peter Francis take the mark in defence.
So Francis. 15-metre penalty had been paid. That was what the whistle was for.
Yep.
And so Francis now goes long, down towards half-forward. Terry Bright up high, couldn't take the mark. Roach taps it over the top. Manton takes it. His kick off the side of the boot, over the boundary line on the full. And so Marty Christensen of Geelong will bring the ball back into play. And there's John Manton. Now it's Marty Christensen. Christensen's kick goes short. Malarkey having trouble picking it up, now does so. Floats the kick towards half-back. Roberts couldn't take it. Coming through was O'Keefe, forces it over the boundary line. So a throwing to take place. 45-36. 16.5 minutes into the second term here at Kardinia Park. Mossop gets the tap down. Hogg took it, now Damien Drum. And Drum doing well to get the ball out. Swings it across towards the centre. Ablett, a lovely mark. So Ablett, right from the centre of the ground. He's got Brownless giving the lead, a 15-metre penalty. A long kick from Ablett. No mark, it's picked up by Evans. Evans, a hand pass to Turner. Richmond 5-6-36.
And it's interesting, Bobby, to go back in that passage of play. Gary Ablett could quite possibly become, even without a poll, the mayor of Geelong, couldn't he? He is a popular boy.
No doubt that he'd be in it.
Absolute street.
He wouldn't have to pay a cent in advertising. Centre bounce.
Handy lead, Robert. 15 points.
Mossop gets the tap once again. Rioli off the side of the boot, straight out towards centre wing. Darcy leads in the race for the ball. It bounces away from Darcy. Bright lends support, so too Evans. Evans and Darcy. Darcy picks it up, throws it away, and over the boundary line it goes. Umpire not being able to see it, so in correct fashion, if you can't see it, you do not penalise it. So from the throwing, Lee and Mossop, both using their body. Mossop caught one too high, and so we'll get the free kick. Mark is not very happy, but there wasn't any doubt about that, Sandy.
Mossop short. Couch. Centre wing. Graham Landy making sure he's not off. Short again. That's a poor kick. Well, why not go long?
Particularly when you've got a player down there like Brownless, Reynoldsson, Ablett.
Here's Roberts.
It's very reasonable, Marks.
Into the centre of the ground, waiting down. State squad member Andrew Buse just pokes one, and there's a free kick. Too high on him here. Johnny and here quickly out wide to Phil Walsh. Now the Tigers need a goal. They want one badly. They got the chance here. Eustace across to Landy. Graham Landy's kick not swinging back. It's going across the face of goal. Roach!
Lovely, mate.
So Michael Roach is proving a valuable spearhead up forward for the Tigers at the moment. He's contributed 3 goals and an excellent chance of posting number 4 and cutting this margin back. The margin at the moment, it stands at 15 points.
Currently, Sandy, he was on top of the league goal kicking. Of course, before today, Warwick Kappa had 43. Michael Roach now has 44. Make it 45.
So the Tigers score their 6th goal. They move to 6-6-42, trailing by 9 points. Geelong, who are 8-3, 51 on 7's big lead.
So it's 51-42, a 9-point margin. And I think Gary Malarkey might possibly be shifted away only for the fact that they are 9 points in front. And so John Devine is probably saying to himself, I will back Malarkey out because we're playing quite well ourselves anyway.
Back in the centre once again. Mossop, that characteristic run. Hughes, Walsh, well tackled. Now a chance. Evans, a high, poor kick. One that promotes headaches. Turner, beautifully done. He was looking for Buse. Oh, he just took it a little too far, and Jess Reynoldsson came out. Jess perhaps a little lucky to get away with it. Michael Roberts, no. Geelong fans thinking it may go out of bounds on the full, but just bouncing a metre and then dribbling over the line. Geelong having a good quarter at the moment. They've added 5 goals. Manton, Anir, Francis, flattened, but fairly, and another bounce. Almost 21 minutes played. Second term. 9 points the difference, favouring Geelong. Reynoldsson, but straight to Eustace. Couch in the centre has a chance. He's got to sit and wait for it. Darcy taps it wide towards Terry Bright, who swung back straight into trouble. Darcy tries to prevent it with Landy.
I think he realised as soon as he turned that he'd gone the wrong way, Sandy.
Which way have I gone, he's saying. So another bounce.
It's easy from here, though, isn't it?
Oh, my word. It's a lovely commentary box here. Geelong out of trouble again. Marty Christensen. Malaki. Oh, Ablett got up. Couldn't take the mark. Close to the line and, in fact, over. So a throw in on that outer side of the ground. With Geelong, 8 goals, 3, 51. Richmond a 6-6, 42. 22 minutes played, second term here at Kardinia Park.
Jimmy Jess gets a tap down. O'Keefe a hand pass out wide, missed by Ablett. He gets a push in the back though, and so Gary Ablett will take the free kick. Ablett wide on centre wing in aid of a 15-metre penalty. So he's midway now from centre wing to half forward. Should go long and direct, looking for Brownless. It's a beautiful kick from Ablett. Brownless and Cowie, no mark taken. At the back it's Smith. Turner came over the top, over the boundary line it goes. So a throw-in will take place 15 metres around from the behind post. Forward pocket for Geelong. 9 points the margin. Brownless up high. Bruns trying to come through. Michael Roberts there for Richmond. Roberts taps it wide. Cowie does likewise. Cowie diving over the top, and he's done quite a good job today, Sandy. He kept Gary Ablett, well, virtually kickless from memory. And Brownless is there now, and I think Brownless kicked his 1 goal before he played on Cowie.
O'Keefe under plenty of pressure. So too was Buse to Ablett, who fires a goal. Really misses. Has not missed on this occasion. How's that for a laissez-faire attitude?
Good play by Andrew Buse, Sandy.
It was, yes. Very good play by Busey. And Geelong score their 9th. 9-3 to the Tigers, 6-6.
Yes, although the credit will go to Gary Ablett with Andrew Buse. He got the hand pass out. An excellent hand pass, giving Ablett in the clear plenty of time to, as Gary Ablett can do, be cool, calm and collected.
This couldn't have been much more casual. Here's the centre bounce once again. Mossop looking down towards Andrew Buse, but he'll have to search again. Eustace bottling it up, and I think Damien Drum's perhaps asking the question, look, it could have possibly been a free kick there. Not to be. It's another bounce. Mossop thumped forward by Darcy. Bottled up by Smith. And another bounce, and the crowd becoming a little restless. So come on, can't we clear it out and get on with the game? Geelong fans will certainly want to. They lead by 15 points. Buse kick. Brownie's kick, I should say, down to the forward line. A free kick to Ablett. And, well, this is a gimme for Gary Ablett. 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. And the opening of those goals was as wide as the Geelong goals. This is going to give them the greatest lead they've had in this game. It's going to open up a margin of 21 points if he's successful. Which, of course, he is. And the margin is 21 points, favouring the home side Geelong here at Kardinia Park over the Tigers as we go into time on in this second term.
Good play. Made by Runs to get the ball out, and not a good tackle. And Francis has now gone on to Gary Ablett. with Poole going to the wing.
It's been a 7-goal quarter, Bob, by the Cats. Fine performance.
From the bounce. Lee gets the tap. Runs past Manton, who taps the ball on, goes after it again, loses possession. Marty Christensen first there, a lovely blind turn. Spears the kick forward, straight onto the chest of Stephen Reynoldsson from centre wing. Swings it across towards centre half forward. Groundless up high, punched away by Cowie. Picked up by Lee. Breaks the tackle, then runs back into it. Cowie, a hand pass over the top. Finds Rioli. Rioli's long kick towards half forward. Wright and Pickering. Wright comes over the top of Pickering and thus gives away a free kick. Pickering 65 metres out from goal. Too far to score himself. He'll be looking for Michael Roach, I'm sure. No, he goes short. Ania comes out with it, hooks it down towards the pocket. Landy's there for Geelong. And Graham Landy was in defence, but Smith is now on Michael Turner, who has kicked 3 goals for the quarter. So Graham Landy having the opportunity now to kick his goal for the term. And so Landy, very, very tight angle. Left footer. Uses the drop punt and hits the post. So 1 point to the former Geelong utility player. And there's the goal post. No breeze to rock in.
Still, I think it might have jagged and hit both posts, Robert.
Whatever you say, Sandy. The loose ball's picked up by Rioli. Free kick had been found. And gets penalising the side as it comes back to Trevor Poole. Rioli was off and running, but it's still with Richmond. Trevor Poole towards centre half forward. No mark. Put easy there, Geelong free kick. Hocking was pushed in the back. Gets up and plays on immediately. Puts it wide. Bruns and Roberts. An awkward bounce for both of them. Favours Walsh. A hand pass. Misses big fellow Jess. Gets good support. Craig Smith comes through towards half forward. A poor kick though, and it's well taken by Paul Couch.
He's at half back. 15 metres against Pickering. So he can kick over the centre. Reynoldsson and Jess. Landy over the line. Jess over the top of Reynoldsson, and he's given away the free kick. And so Steve Reynoldsson is somewhat of an enigma as far as senior football is concerned, is to take the free kick. To a congested half forward, Ablett got shoved out of the way, and they're all pushed down. Rioli's left, receiving from Poole. Poor hand pass, equally poor kick from Boss. I don't know what he was trying to do, perhaps just chip it. So Francis goes the opposite way. Reynoldsson comes over the top and is given away the free kick. He'll go the way of Phillip. Short, he's got Jess alone at centre wing because he's Reynoldson's man. So the Ghost onto Walsh. Over the top, Eustace. Richmond going forward. To the half-forward line. At the back is Malaki. Shows strength, but straight out the back door to Eustace. Onto the left foot, Pickering. He steadies, fires in towards full forward. Roach is the target, tries to do it with the one hand, with the other held. And that kick went where, Robert? From Jeffrey Hogg, right across the face of goal and out of bounds. Here's the throw-in. Lee maintains front position. Pickering trying to get there, can't do so. Eventually gets it out. Here's a chance for Manton. Steadies, goes onto the left foot with a hurried high drop punt kick, but he's wide. And 1 point only goes on the board.
Deserved it.
Yes, it did. It was a good effort by the big fella, John Manton. 1-1 is his contribution of Richmond's 6-8. 30 minutes played, and they trail 63-44.
Gary Malaki will bring the ball back into play for Geelong. A 19-point margin in favour of Geelong. It's a nice kick. Torpedo punt kick. Mossop from behind. Manton gets the ball down. Walsh, a hand pass at Miss Rioli. O'Neill in support. The hand pass across to Landy. Runs straight into it. Penalised. Boss gives the hand pass to Darcy. Darcy puts it wide. O'Keefe takes the mark. Plays on immediately. Swings it up towards half forward, and Ablett in front takes the mark. That's a bit more dangerous out there, doesn't he, Sandy?
Yes. 15 as well on that half-forward line. He plays on straight away, gives it to Christensen, spears out the pass. Browness was looking for the mark, it's not claimed, so he gets it across to his teammate who kicks in towards goal. That was Damien Christensen. But high and wide. And out of bounds on the full. 19 points favouring the home side Geelong. And the crowd at the moment strangely quiet as Smith brings it back into play. Lee's playing from behind, and that's no good because the mark's taken by Marty Christensen. Well, I don't know whether he'll have a shot.
Well, he will have the shot, Sandy. He has to have it, even though he won't kick it. He still has to have it.
Okay, well, he's had it, but he hasn't kicked it. And so there we go. It's half-time here at Kardinia Park, and Geelong leading 10-3. The Richmond 6-8.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
So it's 19 points the difference, favouring Geelong as we go into the all-important third quarter here at Kardinia Park in overcast but fine conditions for football. Lee on his own, 150 games, Yates 100. The Cats showed great determination in the first half to open up the lead. Can they hold it now? As Walsh gets the handball away, the Tigers go down towards the forward line. It's the kick from Sikarsky going down towards the right half forward flank. Malaki coming out to meet it, and it's his teammate who takes it over the line, and it will be a throw-in to take place. Damien Christensen shoved over the line from the throw-in. No one able to take it away, and the umpire will come in and have a bounce. Well, Robert, at the start of the game, you picked Geelong. Do you think they can hold on?
I think they can, Sandy. They're playing quite well today.
19 points is the margin. Manton, Walsh, pushed off but virtually into the ball, goes to ground, and so another bounce will take place.
So the bounce, half forward flank for Richmond. Tap wide, Eustace picks the ball up, the short kick taken by Marty Christensen. Long kick from Marty Christensen goes straight over the fence, and so we'll find a free kick going to Richmond to be taken by Peter Sikarsky. Sikarsky, which one, Sandy?
Well, I think it depends on the schooling. Sikarsky.
So Sikarsky puts it down. It's taken there by Hughes. His hand pass. And the kick taken by Yates. So eventually Sikarsky's hand pass. Rollins now on the ground. Long kick towards half forward. Mossop up high, punch it away, but good roving by Rioli. Rioli swings it back, beautifully placed. Lovely play. Roach takes it, plays on, and puts it through for goal number 5. But beautiful play, Maurice Rioli. Roach catching Malaki. Well, Malaki had nowhere to go, really.
No, I almost wondered, though, Bob, whether he thought just for a fraction of a second, have I done the wrong thing in playing on? But it made no difference. He goaled, and as you said, scored his 5th, and a very handy one for the Tigers. The margin is now 13 points. And will Mr. Rioli play a big part in this second half? Trevor Poole brought to the ground, well tackled, and the free kick comes out. It goes the way of Richmond. Things starting to flow their way. Although the hand pass on that occasion by Brendan Bowe, who's also on the ground, was not a good one. Now a chance for Couch. Gets it across to his teammate in Christensen. A high kick to Turner.
Free kick downfield, Sandy.
And And he will take it. He plays on, but can he? No, said the umpire. No, Mick. Back you go in front of the scoreboard, next to the R.J. Hickey stand, and take a kick.
He was a great man, a great footballer, a great coach, a great man.
R.J. Hickey. Here's Mick Turner. He's kicked a couple of beauties. Oh, Ablett went up some 20 minutes early.
That must have been a free kick.
He hasn't paid it, Robert. And I think someone in front of us is eating fish and chips because there's a distinct smell of vinegar. Nevertheless, here's the throw-in. Reynoldson in from the side. Jess waits at the back. Dummies nicely, but then lost it. Then spoons it out from the bottom of the pack. Francis, under pressure from Ablett. He bumps him nicely, but then loses it. Regains it again. Gets ripped off the football. I reckon he's going to get a free kick. No, advantage is played. Boss goes into goal and puts it through. Well, he was about to blow the whistle and said, no, Mark Boss, you've got it. Play on. And there's the quick reply. And once again, the margin is 19 points.
Gary did make sure that the umpire saw it, didn't he? Yes, if he had many of those, and he'll have to pay his dues to act as equity.
Still, it's on the board for the Cats, and that's what they want. They lead by 19. The Tides unable to make real impression. No, it's only early days yet in this third term. Michael Roberts, he's winning plenty of kicks. He goes down towards the half-forward line. A chance for Hocking. Bruns to centre wing. Play on is the call. Mossop does the shepherding work, and the Cats go into attack through Couch. It's a long kick to the half-forward line once again. Cowie drops it. Here's a chance. Ablett. Oh, beautifully across to Mick Turner. Here's another one. And the Cats open up a 25-point lead, and they're ecstatic here at Kardinia Park. Great play, Geelong.
Excellent play by John Mossop. Rollins looked as though he was going to take an easy mark, and Mossop just desperately punched the ball away, and that is what set the goal up. It really came from the centre as Sakaski looks as though he's going to come off the ground. He's not on camera. That's Michael Turner and Craig Smith. And the happy Geelong fan, very delighted fan, but back with the centre bounce. Sakaski has gone off, Thornton on.
So it's 4 goals now to Mick Turner as Lee wins it out of the centre. Roberts tries to flick it wide. In the meantime, the umpire has plucked out a free kick, and it will in fact go to Michael Roberts. Roberts' kick. Roach is the target, and Roach he finds. Oh, he's safe from those hands today. He's kicked 5 in a fine display up forward, and really, he's done it on his own. 5 goals, 2 to be precise. Drop punt on its way. It's an important kick, but he's drifted it across the face, I'm afraid, and won't come back. 12-3, plays 7-9 here at Kardinia Park. Terry Bright to bring the ball back into play. Mossop, short. So the Western District farmer to go towards the wing. Mark Yates. Milestone today for Yates. Puts Bruns under a bit of pressure, but Bruns is equal to it. So too is Buse. Good shepherding by Bruns. Sees him clear. Bounces twice through the centre. Look at the pace as he rips forward. Now Turner will fly from behind. He can't take the mark, and Richmond should get out of trouble. It's Francis who picks it up, and he'll find Walsh at centre wing. Slips at the critical stage. Eustace lends support across to Roberts. The Tides bring it out towards the wing, and a good mark. Good body work then by Yates. He finds Bruns. Bruns is clear. He's told to kick it in towards the pocket because Turner's there. Wastes no time. Back to Buse. They're moving the footy pretty quickly. He'll go into the open goal. He kicks in towards full forward, and Billy Brownless is there at the back. Well, I thought he might have had a shot, Bob.
I thought he was going to, Sandy, but good play by Andrew Buse. And that's twice now. He's really showed a good turn of speed to get going, and that really looks like the Andrew Buse that we saw last year. Really getting back to top form as Brownless now lines it up 5 metres out, and the goal umpire indicates that he's put it right through the centre, so Bill Brownless kicks his second goal. 2 goals to Brownless, 13-3. Excellent kicking by Geelong. 13-3, 81. Richmond 7-9, 51.
Not on camera, but a change being made by Richmond. Coming back onto the ground is Jeff Hogg, and John Manton is leaving the ground, and the danger signs up for the Tigers because the margin is now 30 points. Geelong fans here at Kardinia Park stacked at the moment. There's still a long way to go. We've played just 8.5 minutes of this all-important third term. Mossop and Lee both having big runs at the football. It's Mossop who gets it out, but he doesn't take it away. Eustace kick. Oh, Rioli got a poor bounce. It went over the back. A chance for Hocking. Tapping it forward for Malaki. He's under pressure too, but he picks it up. Gets a short kick, but it's danger. It's right in the square. Plenty of pressure on there as Rioli tries to come clear with it. Does so, has a snap at goal and puts it through from him. 2 behinds to Morris Rioli for the day. 29 points the margin.
Terry Bright plays on from fullback, comes around, and from the back pocket looks for and finds Paul Couch. Couch thought about playing on, but he did have his natural left foot to swing onto, but decided to go back. Ablett up high, couldn't get to it though. Just sees the ball come down to his teammate in Francis. Francis towards half forward. Landy takes it. Landy's kick wide, so wide in fact it's over the boundary on the full, and Gary Malaki will take the kick back pocket for Geelong.
There's plenty of pressure applied then by Steve Hock.
So Gary Malaki, 81 to 52. Torpedo punt kick from Malaki. Mossop punches the ball away. O'Keefe first on the scene. Can't get clear, in fact he lost it out the back. Couch picked it up and gave it across to Yates, who goes short into the centre and finds Boss. Boss dummied the hand pass. Then straightened up and goes towards centre half forward. Mendelson couldn't quite take the mark. Coming through is Smith of Richmond. Got a push in the back. A poor kick comes out to Rawlings. Rawlings goes short and wide looking for Landy. Just a little bit too high for Landy. In pursuit is Yates. Puts a lot of pressure on. Yates is there, gets the hand pass wide. Picked up by Drum. Drum dummied the hand pass. Now he gives it out to Mossop, who lost it completely. It comes back towards Drum. It's picked up by Rawlings, but a free kick has been found. And it looks like it'll go to Geelong. And Marty Christensen does look as though he'll be the player to take it. Quite sure what the umpire's saying to Barry Rawlings.
Well, I don't think Rawlings realises what has been happening. He's just bringing him back, right back to the mark, plus the 15 metres. So he's going to kick this down towards the centre. It's a poor kick, and Jess gets an equally poor bounce, but he pounces upon it. Could have almost got a free kick. And eventually a bounce to take place. But just about right in the middle of the ground. We've seen a fine start to this third quarter by Geelong.
17 shots to 16, Sandy.
And yet they lead by 29 points. Reynolds thumps it to half forward. Who's waiting down? Hogg, tapped wide by Bauer. Towards Francis. Pickering the target, and he finds him. Plays on, back to Bauer. He's under pressure. Still finds an ear. On centre wing, Bright lending chase. Kicks to half forward. Mossop runs into trouble, and he's beautifully tackled. Rioli over the line. So the Tigers trying desperately to get back into this game. They've got plenty of time to do it. 12 minutes played in this third term. And 29 points the margin.
Mossop gets the tap down. Taken by Poole. A hand pass towards Rioli. A high kick. Doesn't travel much distance. Mossop couldn't take the mark. It's not one too high. And will take the free kick. So John Mossop. I'm sure Geelong fans would be happy with his effort today, Sandy. I don't know how he's been playing in others since he's come back. But Damien Christensen gets it onto O'Keefe. He's back through the pack. Puts it wide. Mark Boss leading in the race for the ball. Turner coming out. Boss taps the ball on. Goes after it again. Got the ball onto the boot. It's picked up by Rawlings of Richmond. Rawlings goes long towards half forward. A well-placed kick straight into the arms of Mark Lee. Lee's got Michael Roach down there. He gets the hand pass to Thornton. Thornton goes goalward, and the goal umpire indicates that Ron Thornton brings up his first goal. A nice hand pass from Lee over the top, and Thornton finishing it off. So it's 81 to 58 in favour of Geelong. Almost 13 and a half minutes into the third term here at Kardinia Park.
Second goal for the Tigers this term. The first came from Michael Roach, and now Ron Thornton providing a much-needed addition to the Richmond scoreboard. 81 plays 58. 23-point margin favouring the Cats. And the Tigers continue to cut it back from the centre bounce. They've got a chance to go forward once again through Hogg. Down to the half-forward line, Pickering. He was the danger man a fortnight ago. He goes short, setting up a near, but he takes the mark. Some quick goals here is going to set the cat amongst the pigeons. John Annear has the chance to do that.
Still surprised at the way Michael Roach has been marked. Richmond do not make some attempt to get the ball down long and quick. But it's just the two of them.
It's provided a great avenue of attack. Annear's kick is offline and one. So set shots like that are costly. 8-11 plays 13-3. Great kicking for goal by the Cats.
Malarkey. And that's a great kick too. Out wide to the half-back flank. Taken by Drum. Lee coming through. The Drum recovers. Close to the boundary line. It's the short kick put forward by Eustace. It could easily have been a Richmond free kick there for mine. As Pickering was held. And it looks as though it might have gone the other way. Sandy?
Yes, holding the ball. And so Andrew Buse. There's a fair punt too. Reynoldsson was the target, and it finishes with him. Darcy, Rawlings. Can't handle it in the middle. No one can. And another bounce. Right in the centre here at Kardinia Park. 81 plays 59. Favouring Geelong. 15 and a half minutes played. Third quarter. And exactly the same will take place again in the middle. Geelong preparing to make an interchange. Craig Evans is on the sidelines, but it looks as though he could be coming on at any tick of the clock. Pickering gets a high kick towards the half-forward line. Rioli and Christensen. Rioli in front. And Morris is getting back into business again, but it's taken time. His target is Roach. Malarkey this time. Oh, Rawlings just overruns it. And couldn't pick it up as it wobbled over the line for another behind. Here's the change being made now by Geelong. And coming off the ground is Damien Christensen.
Terry Bright takes it wide, goes short. David O'Keefe. O'Keefe also goes short towards the wing. Reynoldsson out in front of Jess takes an easy mark. Now Reynoldson's up on centre wing. A long way from half forward, puts it towards the half forward flank. Evans, who's just come on the ground, takes a nice mark. So it's Craig Evans. Half forward flank. Gets the lead from Ablett, right onto the chest of Gary Ablett. And so I think you'll find Ablett has the long kick. Ablett's kick up towards the square. Comes back to Brownless, it's tapped through for 1 point. One rush point to Geelong. Geelong fans thought it might have been a mark, but I certainly wouldn't have played it, Sandy.
No, just for a fraction of a second. I think you're quite right. I thought it would be. He certainly created plenty of excitement, the young boy from Jerilderie. But it's another point, and it'll be Jimmy Jess to bring the ball back into play. Pickering annoyed that he's ignored as Jess goes to the outer side. Paul gives about as much tact in that as a kiss from your stepmother. And he's lost it. So the Cats again, another chance to go into attack. Mark Yates, short. And Neville Bruns. He's also going to go short. Here comes Reynolson. Waiting down was Turner. So too Anir trying to get it out. Still a chance for the Cats as Evans goes to ground. Poleax, but he's up again quickly. Oh, Billy doesn't know what to do. Could have had a kick. Gives it across to Buse. Andrew Buse, snap at goal. Is off target. 1 point. So the margin is 23 points. Jess short. Walsh. Gary Ablett giving him nothing. And, well, perhaps he did give him something because that kick went out of bounds on the full. And it'll be Andrew Buse to bring it back into play. So a little Geelong plumber. To half forward. Intercepted by Landy. Spoiled, however. O'Keefe, was he tripped? The umpire calls play on. Boss out to Turner. Shrugs one. Can't elude another. Landy bursts through again. He's beautifully tackled. Christensen out wide. But in the meantime, he's called the advantage now. So Mossop can give it a... Oh, they're mucking round with it. I think they didn't hear the whistle. Turner gets a hurried kick. Bounces it in towards the forward line. And Richmond should get out of trouble, although Reynolson is quick to pounce upon the football. Pushed back into play, and in fact kept in play. And eventually down towards the half-back line. The kick from Smith comes right down the throat of Marty Christensen. He plays on. O'Keefe's under pressure, and he's lost it, and Bauer will get the Tigers out of trouble.
Bauer taking full advantage of that mistake. His kick was a shocker. So too the effort to mark by Yates. Yates paid the mark. The umpire obviously assuming he was going to mark it.
Anticipation.
Well, it can happen so easily. Yates now towards the wing. Reynolson was up. Jess comes out with the ball. A hand pass to Eustace, who spilled it. Tapped on by Buse. Buse now can't get Booth the ball. It's close to the boundary line. Reynolson going backwards. Couldn't go quickly enough, though. And it's hard to run just as fast backwards, isn't it? It's only little slow fellas like myself who could do that, Sandy. A hand pass came from Couch to Buse. Drum tried to tap it back to Buse. Boss picks it up. The short kick comes out towards Brownless. Brownless a hand pass. Picked up by Darcy. And he is penalised. And Philip Walsh comes out with the ball. Plays on. Puts it wide. Rawlings is out there. Will swing back onto the left foot. Puts it out towards the wing. Anir was going to play on, but looked up and saw Yates coming straight at him. Anir towards half forward. Pickering's there. No mark taken. Good pressure by Drum. Good tackle by Bright, and so Pickering is penalised.
Great tackle. I think Mike Pickering realised it.
So Terry Bright will have the free kick midway between half-back and centre. So Bright swings it out towards the wing. The lead coming from Bruns, and a well-placed kick finds it an easy mark to Terry Bruns. Terry Bruns?
No. Terry Bright, Neville Bruns. It's a long trip down here, Robert.
And the scores are 83 to 20, a 23-point margin to Geelong. We're 21 and a half minutes into the third term. Hand pass coming out now to Anir. Anir, not a good kick, but Bauer getting a favourable bounce, but a beautiful tackle by Yates.
Gee, do you agree with that, Bob?
I call it a beautiful tackle, Sandy, so I can't agree, can I? Hogg takes the mark on centre wing. Thornton was going past looking for the hand pass, but Hogg had no chance. He was on the ground. Hogg puts a high kick down. Roach got into the back of Malaki, but then couldn't take the mark. A poor kick that time from Bright. The mark missed by Hogg. Picked up by Drum. He gives it back now to Boss. Boss puts it down towards half forward. Reynolson taps it over the top. Good play, Reynolson. But Jess has great support in Francis, who puts it back towards the wing, and a nice mark taken there by Graham Landy.
Right on centre wing is Graham Landy. We've played 22 and a half minutes of this third term, and Geelong are holding this 23-point advantage. Roach comes out. He's a long, long way out, 55 metres from goal, so he goes short, drifting it then towards the general. It snuck away from John Mossop.
Excellent play by Roach there, Sandy.
Yep. And he'll have a shot. 25 metres out, but almost directly in front, and they want goals and want them badly. Richmond at the moment, and the General has provided that one. So it's 83 plays 66, a margin of 17 points here on the 7 Sports scoreboard, which reads Geelong 13-5, Richmond 9-12, 23 and a half minutes played in this third term on 7's big lead.
And the big number 1 who put that through for his first goal, Mark Lee. And Lee today playing his 150th game. Probably have come up during last year, only for injuries. Most of last year with a serious knee injury, has come back quite well. Lee gets the tap, taken by O'Neill. The hand pass to Pickering onto Eustace. A long kick. Roach, it was a little bit too long for Roach. Malarkey comes out, couldn't get a clear kick. Runs over the boundary line, so a throw-in to take place. 10 metres around from the behind post. Forward pocket for Richmond, with Geelong 83 points, Richmond 66. 24 and a half minutes into the third term. Mossop gets the tap. Michael Roberts takes it, puts it back, and Roach takes the mark. 12 metres out from goal, directly in front. Has kicked 5 goals, should have no trouble making it 6, and the margin then will be only 11 points. Michael Roach, directly in front. Right through the centre, 6 goals to Michael Roach, and it was Michael Roberts who got that sharply knockout from John Mossop and put the kick across so that Michael Roach could kick his 6th goal.
And what a model of consistency he's been, Robert. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 2 in the third. A fine day by Michael Roach, approaching the time-on period of this third term. Here's the centre bounce. Let's see if the Tigers can continue this comeback. An 11-point margin. Centre bounce. Lee and Mossop. Mossop, second thump, loses it. It's Philip Walsh's kick to the half-forward line. If they get another one now, the Tigers, they're in business. Rioli's clear at half-forward, but is beautifully ripped off the football as he gets his kick. It doesn't stop Bauer taking the mark. Kicking to a congested forward line. He's got to go as long as he possibly can. Into time on. Gets behind a Torp. It wobbles towards Roach, and in front of him is Pickering. Michael Pickering, 10 metres out and almost directly in front. Should goal. And Robert, in the dying stages of this third quarter, is all Geelong's good work. The early stages of this term coming undone.
Must play the quarter out to its fullest, Sandy, as Pickering puts it right through the centre, and his first goal goes on the board. And just floated across the front of that pack. You could almost see it coming before Bauer even kicked it. Here's the board, 83 to 78, 5 points to margin. 13-5, 11-12 as Gary Malarkey comes off the ground. Damien Christensen on, and Mark Yates has now gone to full back.
So John Devine saying, happy game number 100, Mark. See if you can stop Michael Roach. Here's the centre bounce. Almost 2 minutes of time on play. The Tigers back in business once again after at one stage trailing by 31 points. Can Geelong reply? Reynoldson gives it across to Drum. Oh, they're bursting forward here. He's still going. He's clear. Fires a goal with a drop punt and off target. 1 point. So Damien Drum has 1-1. And the margin is now 6 points. Oh, Mick Turner dropped a vital one. Hughes goes in to lend support. Bruns is there also, gets pulled off the football. Eustace beautifully tackled and he lost it towards the boundary line. Picked up by O'Keefe. O'Keefe across towards Christensen. He's set upon, goes to ground, but the umpire says no. The ball was held, and so Damien Christensen bottles it up, and we'll see a bounce take place.
Exactly 1 goal between the sides. 28 minutes just about to tick around. Almost at three-quarter time as Jimmy Jess has been shifted to centre half forward. Hocking picks it up. A nice hand pass. Finds Christensen. Marty Christensen across to Darcy. Darcy to Damien Christensen. On to David O'Keefe. O'Keefe puts the ball straight down the ground, and the diving mark taken by Craig Smith of Richmond. Smith goes straight across the ground. Has Hogg out there wide. Up towards the wing. Pickering there. Takes a nice mark. Wanted to get the ball moving. A 15-metre penalty will be paid. A hand pass over the top to Hogg. Jim Jess lending support with a nice piece of shepherding. Pooler high takes the mark. Straight across the ground he comes, looking for Walsh. Mossop comes back. Walsh a timely mark.
Chance to level the scores, Robert.
Walsh had nobody on him for quite a while. And Walsh on the wing. He's come right down. He'll not be playing on the wing at the moment. It could be half full. Kick from Philip Walsh. It's right through the centre and scores a level. 84 points apiece. And Philip Walsh brings up his first goal. And Walsh had come out from the other side of the ground, actually. He was playing on the wing on the other side of the ground. And drifted down from this side, so he must have just come across this end.
I was only going to say what a fine comeback it's been, Robert. They trailed by 31 points midway during this term and now have fought their way back to level the scores. It's close to siren time and the Cats want an answer if they can find it before the third term. Or will it be the Tigers who'll go into attack again through Anir down towards the half-forward line? Rolling's a chance. Can he keep it in play? No, Bazza cannot. And so a throw-in to take place. 30 minutes played. Siren will sound any tick of the clock. Mossop from behind. Two Richmond boys appeared to run into one another there.
I thought it was too.
One of them's been given a free kick, namely Michael Pickering.
We haven't the aid of the replay, Sandy, but I really thought it was two Richmond players as the kick comes to Roach. Now that is a heavy butt.
And Michael Roach, I don't know whether he was winded.
Oh, I don't think it's worth 15 metres. Surely, as he went for the mark.
Well, 15 metres has been given. Roach is up. I think it was perhaps just slightly winded.
Andrew Bewes couldn't stop, sure.
Oh, of course he could. No. We're not the men in white, Robert.
I see that.
So now Roach has kicked 6. And he's continued on his merry way. 7 goals to Michael Roach, and the Tigers are looking the goods as they turn this game around in the third term here at Kardinia Park.
It does make a difference to have an effective spearhead, Sandy. The big number 8 for Richmond indicating to the trainer that he's okay. He's kicked 7 goals. You've really got to be knocked out to go off, Sandy.
Here's the centre bounce. Well, the siren's got to ring sooner or later. We've played almost 32 minutes. Trevor Paul tries to take it out of the middle. Did he get a push? Yes, said the umpire, so he shall. And the Tigers' momentum running hot at the moment. He's quick to play on. Out wide towards the half-forward line. The mark taken there by Anir. Got plenty to fire up at there. Rioli, Pickering, Roach. Play on. Out in front of Lee. He gets a bad bounce. Ducking his head was Couch. Tries to get clear. Back towards Pickering again, who copped one high. It's all Tigers at the moment. Michael Roberts picks it up. Over the head of Lee it goes. Who's waiting at the back? It's all Geelong. And it'll just be casually run over the line by Mark Yates for another throw. But the Tigers doing all the attacking as they have done in the past 20 minutes. It's in their left forward pocket zone. And there's the siren. It's taken 32 and a half minutes, but at three-quarter time in a grand quarter of football and a high-scoring quarter of football, a 7-goal term for the Tigers. They're back in business. 13-12 to Geelong's 13-6 on. After a mighty comeback in the third term, the Tigers go into the last leading by 6 points, turning a 31-point deficit into a 1-goal break. Can the Cats come back? Can the Tigers keep it going? Let's see what happens from the centre. It's John Anir at the bottom of the pack. He'll be free kick to set the Tigers into attack. Their spearhead Michael Roach has been in scintillating form. He's booted 7 goals and had a couple of opponents, and as yet they've been unable to stop him. Fisted down to the half-forward line. Christensen, a hurried kick. Geelong have got to find something if they're going to come back in this final term. Both coaches were extremely expressive at three-quarter time. Bauer goes to ground with the ball for the Tigers, and the umpire will come in and have a bounce. Robert, after that third term, do you think Richmond can go on with it, or can the Cats come back?
Well, midway through that, or 10 minutes into the third term, I should say, Sandy, one would have thought Geelong were going to run right away with the game. So it's one of those games where you find it very hard to predict, because Richmond came back in excellent fashion, and it's Michael Roach down at full forward, who's been an excellent player. But it's Stephen Reynolds now to repulse the attack. Goes across the ground with a short pass. Bad play. Bauer just spilt the mark, almost took it away. It's taken by Buse. Buse breaks through the tackle, comes forward, gets the hand pass in. Evans now from centre wing, puts a long kick to half forward. Turner up high from behind. It comes down to O'Keefe. Steadies, goes towards goal. David O'Keefe squares the scores. 90 points apiece, and a good goal from O'Keefe. Good play from Buse.
So just 1.5 minutes played, final term. Scores are level here at Kardinia Park. 14-6 Geelong. Superior kicking for goal. Richmond 13-12. And anybody's game in the opening minutes of this final term. As I mentioned earlier, Michael Roach, 7 goals. The main goal scorer for the Tigers. Mick Turner has been inspirational in the forward line for Geelong with 4. Gary Ablett kicked 2 great goals in the second term. Bill Brownless also has 2 to his credit. Here's the centre bounce once again. Lee and Mossop ready to charge at one another. They do so now, and it's won by the General, trying to find Michael Roberts, who so often has been able to get it out of the centre. This time it's Bauer to the half-forward line. Waiting down is Rioli, but he's beaten on this occasion by Christensen. To the outer side of the ground, and out of bounds, a throw-in to take place.
So Mark Lee coming down the ground will compete against Bill Brownless, who's now come into the ruck. Mossop at full forward. Richmond going forward. Buse first on the scene. Really showing his old dash today, Sandy. And Buse puts the ball back. No mark taken. Bauer at the back. Taps the ball forward. Evans picks it up for Geelong. He's dispossessed. It was still held after he lost possession of the ball. And so Evans comes out with the free kick.
The ironical cheers for some reason going up from the Geelong fans. Ablett plays on. Here they go forward once again. The long kick by Tim Darcy down towards full forward. Mossop is there. Turner is there with him. Now the pressure on close to the boundary line. Mossop picks it up. Cowie almost threw it away. Turner's still in there trying. Landy defends stoutly, gets the handball away, and they shall clear with Craig Smith getting a wide handball. But in the meantime, he's thrown, said the umpire, and Geelong another chance to go forward.
One of those automatic reactions.
So the Cats still in with a chance. Darcy at half forward. Plenty of pressure on now. It's not panic, they say. Let's take it easy and shoot towards goal. Tim Darcy. Scores are level. Just over 4 minutes played. He's got a fair distance. He'll drop it into the square. Ablett! Well, we said in the first half, he looked as though perhaps he shouldn't have been on the ground because he appeared to have difficulty moving. But in the second half, he hasn't appeared to have that worry. He's complaining about the angle, but you've got to take the angle from a line that is from the direction the ball was coming from the centre of the goals. So he's been brought right round. He's kicked 2 goals. Ablett with a drop punt. It's off target, but it Doesn't matter because the Cats have hit the front. Dealey would have loved to have kicked his third. But Geelong are back in the lead. The margin is 1 point, 5 minutes played, final term.
Started the quarter off well again, Sandy. Richmond came back superbly in that third term. So will Geelong get an early break? It's Peter Francis. Looks for Pickering. Hogg from behind. Couch punches the ball away. It goes over the boundary line and the throw-in will take place midway between half-forward flank and forward pocket for Geelong. Mossop and Cowie to do the ruck work. Mossop gets it over the back. Damien Christensen swings back onto the left foot. A real awkward one to mark. Turner's there. It's punched away by Smith. At the back was Couch. A hand pass taken by Turner to Mossop. He goes goalward, but he's offline. And 1 point the result. And John Mossop brings up his first score for the day. Peter Francis will again put the ball back into play. 92-90 in favour of Geelong. 6 minutes, approaching the 6.5 minutes, in fact, in the third final term.
The kick from Francis to the outer side of the ground.
Nice mark.
It was indeed a strong mark taken by Thornton. Ron Thornton on the half-back flank. The Tigers trailing. Reynoldson in front has the ball fisted down. Thumped further afield by Roberts, but they're back in business again. The Cats through Drum to the half-forward line and Ablett again. You can't keep a good man down. It's snuck clear on that occasion. Peter Francis nods his head, but there's nothing he can do about it. So Gary Ablett directly in front. Just stabs gently away with a drop punt. And up go the Cat flags because Geelong are back in business again. Gary Ablett kicks his third and Geelong's 15th. 15-8 plays Richmond's 13-12. 8 points the margin on Seven's big lead.
Although Ablett is back somewhat in the key position of the role, he's got Mossop down there beside him. And when allowed more to move around the forward line, it's far more dangerous.
7.5 minutes played. Final term. Centre bounce again. Lee trying to generate Richmond into attack through Michael Roberts to the half-forward line. Anea gets pushed off the football. Pickering picks it up nicely, finds Rioli. This looks dangerous. Where's Michael Roach? Out on the lead. With him is Yates, but the free kick is going against the Geelong defender. And Michael Roach has a chance for goal number 8. And an opportunity of bringing his side to within 2 points of Geelong. 25 metres out from a fair angle. Kicking into the R.J. Hickey stand. Roach stabs with a drop punt. And it's the post. 7 goals, 4 to his credit. Michael Roach has been in very good form this year. And the margin is now 7 points, favouring Geelong. Back into play once again. The Cats are clear. The handball out towards Bruns. He loses it. He has support, but Rioli pounces upon it. Gets it across to Lee. Another quick one across to Philip Walsh. Down to the half-forward line once again, and Trevor Poole takes the mark. Almost within scoring distance, Paul. He's having a look at Roach. Roach gives him a lead. He ignores it and elects to go long. Deep into the square. All the flyers are up. No mark. Socket off the ground. I think it's a goal. It is a goal. Kicked by Ron Thornton. So Thornton kicks his second, and now it's just 1 point the difference.
Thornton covering plenty of territory. He took that mark in the back pocket not so long ago. He's come right down the ground, and a good piece of roving there. He's kicked it straight off the ground. An excellent goal to Ron Thornton. So it's 98-97. 9.5 minutes have gone in the final term at Kardinia Park. Mark Lee against Bill Brownless. Brownless got the tap, not a clear one. It's picked up that time by Eustace. Pickering takes the mark. Hand passes immediately to Anea. Anea goes short and finds Poole. Richmond look to be running on at the moment. Trevor Poole puts a long kick down towards the square. Yates in the front position, does well, brings it back, and Reynoldson takes a timely mark. Stephen Reynoldson. Looks towards centre wing, looks for Bruns. O'Keefe taps the ball on. Landy first on the scene, can't get it clearly. Tapped through by Landy again, overruns it, he gets support from Bauer. His hand pass taken by Eustace. Eustace a long kick. Pickering an excellent mark. So Michael Pickering gives a wide hand pass now. Barry Rawlings. Rawlings from half forward, the kick dropping short, touch through. Though Yates keeps coming out, gets the hand pass in. Roach puts it across, it's into the goal square. Hogg, and Hogg puts Richmond in front by 5 points. Good play, Michael Roach. Roach getting the hand pass across, and Hogg bringing up his first goal.
Yes, Jeff Hogg kicking his first, and Richmond back in front, 15-13, 5-point leaders over Geelong, 15-8. Now, can the home side answer the challenge? Waiting for the ball to go up in the middle again. It's been nip and tuck just about all day, although the Cats broke away to a 31-point lead. Back came the Tigers. They started behind the 8 ball early on in this term, and now again they've fought their way back into the game to grasp the lead. 11.5 minutes played, final term. The Geelong runner having plenty of work to do, and he'll be enjoying that, Mick, as it's out wide on the wing. A chance now, but Christensen loses it, so too does Drum. Rawlings goes bursting through, he's on the left foot as he goes to the half-forward line. Rioli's the target. Christensen comes over the top, Rioli still control, gives it across to his teammate in Roaches. This number 8, he fires at goal and has put through number 8 in a fine performance up forward. So suddenly, Richmond blitzing away with quick goals in this final term. They move clear 16-13, 11-point leaders over Geelong, 15-8 on Seven's big lead.
So Barry Rawlings has done well since coming on at half-time, Sandy. Rawlings came on at half-time, had 4 kicks in the third term, 2 kicks so far in this one, and very vital kicks they've been.
Here's the centre bounce once again. What can the Cats do to stop this run by Richmond as it continues? Lee to an ear, out comes Roach, the bounce. Oh, he might just about get there again, or will it be Morris? Rioli goes onto the left foot, but he snaps under pressure, and it's 1 point over. 2 straight kicks the difference. 98 plays 110. Reynoldson back into play, and he goes wide. Boss making plenty of ground to get to the football on the half-back flank. The Cats looked the goods midway during the third term. Ablett uses the body, thumps it clear because he couldn't take the mark, but I think David O'Keefe has given away the free kick. And it's Philip Walsh, wastes no time, swings it right across the ground, looking for Craig Smith, but loses out on this occasion. Down towards Bill Brownless, he's clear now, but he's caught. Got possession of the football, but was smothered. Bauer picks it up for the Tigers. Hurriedly onto the left foot, he goes back towards centre wing. Copping a decent old shove was Steve Hocking. Still in possession, but no. The boundary umpire comes in and says, "Gentlemen, please, you're in my territory, I'll have it."
So the throw in midway between centre wing and half-forward flank for Geelong. Geelong trailing by 12 points, 14 minutes into the final term. Landy gets the tap. Thornton couldn't gain possession. Hocking taps it forward. The hand pass comes out from Eustace, tapped on by Landy. Intercepted by Couch. He's penalised, and so Bauer of Richmond will take the free kick. Brendan Bauer, his kick towards half forward, and the mark almost taken by O'Neill. Christensen lost possession. Marty Christensen comes in this time after Damien Christensen was the first player, and the umpire indicating, as John O'Neill has a few words to the umpire, indicating, I think, the player kicked the ball, and so we'll find a bounce to take place. Mark Lee, number 1. Mossop comes in, gets the backhander. Len Lee grabs it, gets the kick forward. Almost trapped, and then trapped again by Couch. Gets a hand pass. Marty Christensen lost possession. Kicked off the ground by Terry Bright. In towards the centre, and Damien Drum takes the mark and dropped him with the... Oh, cop that, my friend. And this time, we find that Gary Ablett has the ball at half forward. Plays on immediately. A high, long kick. Groundless in the front. Cowie punches the ball away. Taken by Bauer. Bauer now comes up towards half-back into the centre. Ania takes the mark. A long hand pass into the centre, finds Hogg. Hogg goes wide, looks for Rioli. Marty Christensen taps the ball forward, goes after it again. Got the hand pass back towards his teammate, and Andrew Buse now comes across from half-back. The short pass finds Couch. Couch now from the centre of the ground, puts it out wide, on towards the half-forward flank. Turner waiting for it to bounce. Should have tried to take the mark, in my opinion. Jimmy Jess is there for Richmond, so too Damien Drum, and a bounce will take place. Half-forward flank for Geelong. 98 to 110, 15 and a half minutes into the final term. You're watching Sevens Big League from Kardinia Park.
2 straight kicks the difference. The Cats have it down in their attacking zone. They trail, can they convert? Jess does the leaning. Eustace tries to soccer it off the ground. Boss picks it up. A short kick gathers little distance. And the mark is taken for Richmond by Craig Smith. Back towards centre wing, almost catches Ania unawares, but he comes over the top and takes the mark. So Johnny Ania from centre wing to the half-forward line. Roach the target, the lead of the target, but beaten on this occasion by Mossop. 15 metres, and back with Mossop again. John Mossop's kick. Ablett will come in from the side. 1, 2 grabs, and he's got it. It's an incredible player, isn't it? 9th mark to Gary Ablett as he wobbles a punt to the half-forward line. Evans couldn't take it. Ania clear. The Tigers out of trouble again. An opportunity for Thornton. He's caught. Boss picks it up.
It was held too long.
It was held afterwards, yes. So Thornton will take the free kick, and that's poor play by Geelong, who then had an excellent chance of going into attack. Thornton's kick. Mossop and Lee have moved over the other side of the ground, where they push it over the line, and another throw-in to take place. Well, we played almost 17 and a half minutes, and after that flurry of goals, Richmond seemed to be holding sway. Michael Roberts hurriedly onto the left foot. Reynoldsson barges his way through the pack, long to half forward. The Cats want a goal, and they want it smartly. Now, Brownless hasn't been sighted for at least 2 quarters. Let's see what he can do. He wants to get behind one and go long to the forward line. Ablett eyes on the football and pulls in a beauty. He's a freak. Absolute freak. Well, if he gets this one, the margin is 6 points. Ablett has kicked 3. He's directly in front. The Geelong fans wait as he stabs so often as he has done here. And he goals. The margin is 1 straight kick. 6 points the difference, favouring the Tigers. And Gary Ablett brings the Cats back in with a chance. The scoreboard showing Geelong 16-8, 104. Richmond 16-14, 110. 18 and a half minutes played. Final term here at Kardinia Park.
We'll wait the centre bounce. Gary Ablett coming back out towards the half-forward line. Cowie now shifted out onto Ablett. Jess the full back against Brownless. So Francis coming up towards half-back. As Boss comes through, gets the hand pass in. Kicked off the ground by Reynoldsson. Drum got the hand pass in. Free kick must go the way of Geelong. As from the bottom of the pack, we see Andrew Buse coming out.
Tell you what, Robert, this is going to be anybody's game, and they could easily be sharing 4 points at this stage. 20 minutes played. Geelong to the half-forward line. No mark taken by Evans. He tries to scramble it out, but can't do so. Picked up by Michael Roberts, but straight to Andrew Buse, who takes it on the chest at centre wing. Buse, as darkness descends over Kardinia Park, puts the Cats up to the half-forward line once again. Over the top of Evans it went. Bauer at the bottom, close to the boundary line. Kept in play. Francis accelerates clear. Long to the half-forward line. The Tigers looking for the answering goal. They've got the chance here. The General's got it at half-forward. He got rid of the handball before he was tackled. Play on is the call as Lee keeps steaming towards it. Sock it off the ground. Sock it out wide and out of bounds.
Great play by Yates. He had to take the gamble. He left Michael Roach came out from full-back, ran about 30 metres and then kicked it off the ground. Excellent defence by Mark Yates.
Celebrating game number 100.
Darcy, Rawlings, both having a word, and the umpire saying settle down, and now we'll bounce.
Well,
throw it in, I should say.
Yes, and they're still having a bit of a chat, those boys. Perhaps Barry Rawlings saying, well, don't worry at the moment, look at the scoreboard. Because the Tigers lead by 6 points. Lee wins it. Pickering, the handball wide towards Anir. He was looking for Francis, but good interception. It finishes up with Terry Bright. Shepherding should see him clear. He bounces his way across centre, long to the forward line, but Ablett's well out of position. It drifts in towards the left forward pocket. Ablett's got a chase now. 2 Richmond players go to ground. No one can pick it up. And the Geelong boys did well to bottle it up. After the Tigers looked set to clear it, it was Mick Turner who came over the top of Craig Smith to hold it up. And we shall see a bounce in Geelong's left forward pocket. They trail by 1 straight kick, 21 minutes played. It hasn't been a high-scoring quarter. There won't be a lot of time on. A chance for Landy to clear, but his kick is smothered. Evans picks it up. Handled it like a hot potato. Brownless now. You'll be on your right foot, Billy. Can you snap? He goes high. It's a fair kick towards goal. It is off target. 1 point only. 1 straight kick will now put Geelong in front.
We wait to see Smith put the ball back into play. Long kick from Smith. Thornton, 2 attempts, punts back by Ablett. The hand pass comes across from Hogg to Anir. Anir across to Thornton, back to Hogg, back to Anir. They're in trouble, they're under pressure. Bauer takes it from Anir. Back towards Hogg, over the top to Anir. Now it's to Thornton. Thornton hand passes over the top to Jess. Jess with a beautiful kick over the half-forward line. Roach taps it on. Rioli couldn't quite take possession. Yates dives in there, shows great desperation. So too Marty Christensen, and the bounce will take place half forward for Richmond, with Richmond at the present moment holding a 5-point advantage. 22 and a half minutes into the final term. Mossop gets the tap, taken by Bruns. He's tackled, but the tackle was too high according to the umpire, and so Neville Bruns will temporarily relieve the pressure. Now he's at half-back, goes short, wide, very wide, finds Marty Christensen, up towards half-forward. Brownless is there. Brownless plays on immediately, puts a long kick, looking for Ablett. Ablett from behind, slipped into his opponent, didn't mean to do it, but a free kick nonetheless. Just as Ablett was about to throw himself into the air, he slipped. And now Cowie, hand passes to Smith. Ball kick from Smith, but Pickering takes the mark. Free kick, whatever you like, and he'll be at half-back flank. Terry Bright will be the man on the mark. And Michael Pickering, half-back flank. Richmond 16-14, Geelong 16-9. 5 points the advantage. O'Keefe takes the mark. David O'Keefe plays on now. Swings it towards centre half forward. Gary Ablett in the front position. Could easily have got a free kick. Cowie punts it away. Taken by Bauer. Bauer comes up towards the centre. Drives the ball out wide towards half-back. Reynoldsson, a great attempt but couldn't do so. Boss is there. It's tapped back. Rawlings got the hand pass in, intercepted by Marty Christensen, taken by Hocking. Hocking's hand pass picked up by Darcy. Darcy in towards the centre. A well-placed kick finds Evans. Evans now breaks the tackle, has 1 bounce, has a chance to have another, goes towards goal, his kick's offline. 1 point the result, 4 points the margin in favour of the Tigers. Evans having the opportunity to have another bounce, but possibly no talking. Cowie puts it long. The torpedo punt kick wide. Anir couldn't take it. Bauer picks the ball up. Over the centre wing it goes. Hocking punches the ball back in towards the centre. Bauer was the player to go to the ground. Darcy picks it up for Geelong. 2 bounces. Now 3. Darcy will steady now. Have the shot towards goal. Again, 1 point the result. Geelong peppering the goals, but just cannot put the goal on the board. Tim Darcy sees it go to 107 to 110. Couch punches the ball away, recovers well from the boundary line, hooks it back Turner doesn't get a favourable bounce. Smith gets a hand pass towards Roberts. Roberts taps the ball forward. Pack forming. The umpire, I think, having no option but to bounce it. Geelong fans were looking for a free kick, but the umpire saying, give it to me, I'll bounce it at centre half forward. Time on to play in the final term. 3 points the margin in favour of the Tigers. Mossop beaten for it by Lee that time. Bauer gets a hand pass to Rawlings. Rawlings puts a long kick wide towards centre wing. Over the boundary line it goes on the full, and Hocking will take the resultant free kick for the Cats. Centre wing, outer side of the ground. Stephen Hocking. The kick off the side of the boot. Turner in front, punched away by Smith. The hand pass coming from Damien Christensen, punched away by Jess. Over the boundary line it goes, and the throwing to take place half forward flank for Geelong. We're approaching 26 minutes in the final term. Up high was Brownless, grabs it, tried to get the hand pass in. The short kick from Couch. Picking it up as Landy. A hand pass accepted there by Hogg. A beautiful tackle against Hogg. Sees Bruns take the ball. Darcy now goes towards goal. And Darcy puts Geelong in front by 3 points. An excellent goal by Tim Darcy. Coming right down the ground. Jimmy Jess was called down from centre half forward into defence. And Darcy then came down the ground. And excellent play. And the Geelong defender puts through his first goal to see Geelong take a 3-point lead 26 and a half minutes into the term. 3 points the margin in favour of Geelong. There's the player who put them in front, Tim Darcy, back in defence. Mossop up high, gets the tap. O'Keefe couldn't take it. Toole coming through for Richmond. Breaks through the tackle. Toole still going through. Has one bounce. Puts the ball out wide. Looking out there and finding Ania, who takes a timely mark. Ania plays on immediately. Shouldn't have been allowed to play on that easy. Ania puts a long kick, but once again it's Darcy. High over the back. And not only does he put them in front, but he saves them at the other end as well. Tim Darcy puts the long kick out towards the centre wing. Mossop in front, couldn't take the mark. Evans is at the back, picked up by Ania. Ania's kick, smothered, comes back to Rawlings. Rawlings a kick towards half forward, and once again it's Darcy. A great last term by Tim Darcy, certainly doing well. 8 marks to Darcy. He drives it towards the centre wing. Lee was held, I thought. The hand pass coming out to Brownless. Brownless puts it across. Hughes with a long hand pass finds Drum. Drum swings it back. Turner's the man he's looking for. And Turner will take his time, have the shot. He'll be trying to kick his fifth goal, I should say. He's got 4 goals at the moment. And 9 points will be a tremendous advantage. 28 and a half minutes into the final term. The Geelong skipper, Michael Turner, 25 metres out, directly in front, going for and kicking goal number 5. 9 points the margin in favour of Geelong. 119, 110, 18-11, 16-14. 9 points the margin held by Geelong. 119 to 110. We're approaching the 29-minute mark of the final term. Mossop against Lee. Lee has not been off the ball throughout this game. Mark Lee, John Mossop. Mossop wins the tap. Eustace took it. Mossop gets the kick. Landy gets a bad bounce. Damien Christensen at the back. Christensen looks for Ablett. Ablett up a great one-hander. And so Gary Ablett now, the chance of really sealing it. 35 metres out from goal. You can see the angle for yourself. And so Gary Ablett, 4 goals to his credit. The kick from Ablett. Spears the centre. 5 goals to Ablett. A 15-point lead in favour of Geelong. 30 minutes minutes are about to tick around, so no chance, I don't feel, of Richmond coming back now. Any chance? I think their confidence has been shattered. The kids are on the ground. I don't think they realise that there's still a game of football going on. It's not good. The kids have to realise that this does not help. 125, 110. 15 points the margin as Gary Ablett, 5 goals to his credit. 3 in the second half. Naturally, 2 in the first. A good mathematician. As we await the centre bounce. I don't think the umpires are going to wait for those kids to all be back over the fence. There's thousands of them between the fence and the boundary. Almost 31 minutes have gone. Lee, then Mossop taps it on. It's tapped down. Bauer takes it. Tackle too high. The loose ball picked up by Boss. His kick towards half forward. Turner pushes the ball forward, takes it, throws it out in front of him, and he's penalised accordingly. Craig Smith of Richmond will take the kick, but it's Geelong who will run out winners. They lead by 15 points. 31 minutes have gone. Hocking takes it. The hand pass towards Evans, cannot keep it in play. But that will not worry Geelong. And don't mind how many throw-ins there are at the moment. They hold a 15-point advantage. Brownless and Jess. No clear tap. It comes back to Brownless. Puts a high kick down towards the forward pocket. Turner over the shoulder there of his opponent. And there's the siren as Turner goes forward. Hit the post. And umpire still hasn't heard the siren. The game is over. And so it's 19-12. 126 points Geelong. Richmond 16-14. 110.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer. Real footy Guernseys, real footy shorts, and real supporters wool jumpers in all club colours and badges. Go for the VFL mark at Myer.
Nip and tuck all day, but 3 late goals by the Cats in that final term saw them draw away to record a magnificent 16-point win over Richmond, with the final scoreline showing Geelong 19 goals 12, 126. Too good for Richmond, 16-14, 110. And isn't Gary Ablett an amazing footballer? He finished with 5 goals for the day, as did his captain, Michael Turner, who played some inspirational stuff, particularly in the second quarter. Whilst for the Tigers, their one big winner up forward was Michael Roach, finishing with 8 goals, and Ron Thornton also contributed 2. So as far as the Cats are concerned, it doesn't lift them on the ladder, but it does keep their faint hopes alive. It's a slight stumbling block for Richmond. Whether they can overcome that or not, we shall find out in the weeks to come, when we hope that you can join us for more great action here in pro football.